there, Aries. Welcome to a love reading for February 2022. It's Rena here. So I have the more close-up version, so I don't have any shadows. So we'll see if I can get, this is only like a 4-card spread. So I think this might have been by accident that I can actually do this, which would be kind of cool. Cool beans. And I will explain the placements when I, get there. And this is a love reading for people who are single as well as people who are in relationships that are not working out. That's an important distinction. This is not for people if you're having a good relationship. There's no need for anything, any kind of love reading, obviously, or it doesn't seem like there would be. I don't know why I need this to be. Oh, and did you see this? I don't know if I showed this. I might have shown this before, that I found in one of my boxes. So that's like a selenite. I think that's the name of that crystal, but it was heart-shaped, so perfect. Okay. So the situation in your love life right now is represented by the 4 of Pentacles. For single people, this can be a preoccupation with money, but just financial security. So you might be taking care of business. And typically the people that are looking for a serious relationship are on the younger side, but not always, of course. It also, like, symbolically could be looking for something more secure in terms of a relationship. Maybe you've had time just playing the field or just having fun, and you're looking for something a little bit more settled, a little bit more secure in your life in general. And so, yeah, and because Aries, I think of the Knight of Wands or something like that, that kind of very freedom-loving type of person. But on the flip side of that, everyone has a time when they want to settle down. So it's always good to kind of do what you want to do until you get to that point where you're ready, instead of doing it prematurely, in other words. If you're in a committed partnership and you're unhappy, you might be thinking about the financial impact of you having to support yourself, whether you have enough money to do so, and things like that. And that is something very real. What if you're a stay-at-home mother or a stay-at-home parent and you just didn't go out into the workforce and you don't have your quote-unquote own money? That might be a daunting situation. So that the first thing that you might have to do is not just call a lawyer or move out. You might have to actually build up your own savings and things like that. So these readings aren't meant to be some kind of a quick fix. It's just to look at some of the issues that might be going on. And also, in some cases, what you might be fighting about is money. And that might be like that you are feeling a certain, I don't know, like, I don't want to say, because this isn't about greed or anything like that. This is just about concern about how the money is being spent and making sure that it is being spent in the right way. Usually Aries people are the ones that are spendthrifts. So I suppose it's possible that you want more financial control without having somebody giving you grief about it. I don't know. how you got to this um, place where you are, that the Four of Pentacles relates to. So is the past position, is the Judgment card. And this is a card of karma, of cause and effect. For people in committed partnerships, this may be that this is a long time coming, that certain things have happened that have led you to maybe not have the type of harmony with your partner, and this is just kind of the natural result of that. Perhaps you feel that you did not have good judgment in the person that you picked. Oh yeah, that's something. I was kind of like confused why the Four of Pentacles would show up for a married person, but also I always say this about Aries, is that you're a very generous person, and you may have given your affection to somebody that is that has used you financially, and that has created issues in that area for you, and now you realize that you didn't have good judgment in that situation, that you were looking at the wrong things, to form a desire to be with somebody. And you might be even kicking yourself, but the point is that you can always learn from your mistakes. If you're single, a single Aries person, you still may have gone through some similar situation, and you realize that you need something more. You need a person who's more stable. Maybe that's what the Four of Pentacles relates to you. Somebody who's grounded, because, Aries people are like big kids. You tend to be very spontaneous, and that can be good, but it can also lead to being very rash in your decisions, and having that balance in your life with somebody who is very grounded can make like for a good team. That doesn't sound very romantic though, does it? But well, I'm just saying, because I do have a couple of cards here that are connected to that. And actually the Hierophant is connected to Taurus, so that's an earth sign. And here's another earth energy. So how can you get your needs met if you're in a relationship or if you are single? Or how can you make this happen? New love coming into your life, or possibly mending your relationship, or moving on from a relationship. The Hierophant is connected to religion, and I would like to say the spiritual. It can be a card of tradition, so it could be about, hey, why don't you try to make your marriage work? If it's not that bad, if there's not abuse, if it's simply that there is this issue that you and the other person are disagreeing with, and that's one thing. Maybe Aries people tend to get bored easily in relationships, and it might not take much for you to want to move on to the next one, even if you're married, even if you have that additional hurdle that you have to, the legal hurdle. So that kind of favors marriage, I guess you would say, but obviously this is just a YouTube tarot reading, and if there's a serious problem, you can't just say, okay, I'm going to stay in this relationship because she told me to. No, I'm not telling anybody to do anything, but it's kind of like the fire energy, and I'm a fire sign too. I'm a Sagittarian, and that it's very much about, it can be very progressive, and it can be very much, into the future, but it sometimes cannot value the past enough, and not value the traditional, and be more rebellious. Like, I don't want to be like everybody else. And that may come up sometimes. Maybe that's what the Four of Pentacles relates to. Maybe you feel like everything is just getting too predictable. And I would say that just because you're married or you're coupled and you're living under the same roof doesn't mean that you have to just fall into a rut. You can do things that are fun. You can do different, and sometimes that's what people like, especially when they have that ritual of getting married. They can just say, okay, now I don't have to impress that person, so I'm just going to be who I really am, and then end up not taking that person's needs into consideration and doing fun things and just getting caught up, bogged down in the day to day. I think that could be like the Four of Pentacles too. It's just like that rut, that routine. So the Hierophant is about, um, honoring that relationship enough to um, not quit prematurely. It's also this card is also connected to the spiritual, and the Four of Pentacles is a materialistic card. So maybe the relationship is not focusing on the right things. Maybe you two need to be spiritual helpmates and not just trying to make as much money as possible and acting like that's the meaning of life. If you're single, the Hierophant, to me, it can be a Taurus individual, or somebody with a prominent Taurus. It can also be that you are I think that this card actually should be Sagittarius, and certainly a Sagittarian would be more, would be quite compatible with an Aries person because you're both fire signs. But as a single person, maybe meeting somebody in that setting of a spiritual, like a yoga class, or instead of a nightclub or something like that. I've been saying this to some other signs, and I know that sounds kind of old-fashioned and things, but when I get these kinds of cards and it's like kind of advice or giving a perspective of what is going on, it makes me think of something like that. And the outcome is the Page of Pentacles. This can be communicating with an earth sign. Maybe you're talking to them. You know how people say, I'm talking to this person. I'm always like, are you sure you're just talking to them? Taurus, there's another example of the Taurus that kind of is consistent. Virgo or Capricorn. Capricorn is the one that, being a cardinal sign, I can see you definitely doing. This can be the early stages of a relationship, messages back and forth, early stages of a relationship. If you have started a new job, you might meet somebody on the job that is that you are talking to and that you're attracted to. So that's what I have for you, Aries. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.